How you guys been?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's 8 o'clock. I always think it's like 10 o'clock Central is your time. That's like 8 o'clock your time. So, Dave, man, you're getting up early. Where's Aaron? Is he at work right now? Or is he sleeping?
No, I think
Where's
he's still
around?
in bed, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
And
a weird
Cindy.
work schedule, but he's off work, I think, for the next couple of days. So I'm surprised he's
Okay.
not over here, actually.
Gotcha. What does he do? What does he do for work again?
He works at Tesla or Panasonic.
Oh, oh, nice. Okay,
But they're
cool.
doing some
Fantastic.
weird layoffs with all this crap, and they're going back and forth. And he's kind
Right.
of the lead, so he goes in at certain times, and they're letting a lot of people go, and they're letting a lot of people on non-paid furlough. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on over in the East Coast hasn't really hit us yet. It's kind of a wave,
Yeah.
of
I,
course.
I was speaking to my mum last night. Monica and I was speaking to my mum at like midnight. And my whole family watches the news. We don't watch the news, so I don't really know what's going on. Like we barely even touch the news. So, but my mum, unfortunately, she told us just before we went to bed last night that they're stacking dead bodies on top of each other in New York City. Like all
Wow.
the people that are dead or dying.
So that's one of the problems watching the news, because they make it the biggest doom and gloom there is. So I don't watch the news either, but I pay
Yeah,
attention to what's going on and I look at the stats, man. It's
yeah,
kind of interesting that all of the flu and heart attacks and other issues of people dying, those stats are super low, like they never have been before. And then I read another article where everybody that dies now, they're naming it a corona issue, no matter what. So the numbers are expurgated and they're ridiculous. So
right.
it's a big problem. Yeah. We've had one case over here like 2 days ago from an old guy in a wheelchair that was a transient. And of course, he's unclean and everything else. And they shipped him to Reno for care. And that's it. We don't have much going on over here. It's kind of almost like business as usual for us, especially for what I do. If I want to work at my shop, it's essential and I can do what I want. But I fixed up a car the other day and flipped it in a week, and it was like nothing was any different. The only thing you can't do is go to the DMV because it's closed. So you print off a letter from the internet that says you can drive this car all you want for no registration for 90 days because the government closed the freaking state.
Really? Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's crazy.
That's
So I printed a letter, handed it to the guy, said, "Here you go." Okay.
So there's people driving for 90 days on the road with no license. That's
Pretty much.
sort of like,
Yeah, they've
oh,
forgiven everything.
wow. Okay. Okay. All
Yeah.
right then. Right. Well, hey, because I know we're all, we got a bunch of people, a couple of people dropping on now. I think that is Adele. Welcome to the call, bro. Dave or Ben or whoever you guys want to start. You want to maybe because this is like the entrepreneurial, the business coffee meetup. You guys want to talk what's going on in your business currently? Maybe add some value, see how we can help each other out, and
So yeah, I'll start, man.
Okay.
I've been in WV for almost about 5 years. Before that, though, little background. Right out of high school in 1990, I decided to start a business, and I'm a big car buff. So I started fixing cars. I'm a big drag race guy, and I've been in that for about roughly 30 years. But when I saw WV about 4.5 years ago, it changed my prospect of where I wanted to go. I was working 100 hours a week, fixing cars and stuff, which is cool. It was a passion of mine, but I never did was to create any kind of residual. So once I started doing this, and a couple years in with the help of Terry Camp, and that guy, dude, he stayed at our house on the couch many times, coming over here helping me. A millionaire coming to my house, sleeping on the couch, helping us build in our little town. So much respect for the guy. He's an awesome guy. He married us. And in fact, last night, we do training calls almost every day, man. We're on the call, we're texting. We did a welcome back call last night, or a party on how to help people, welcome back people with a new deal. And it was great. It went good. Didn't get any signups. We got a lot of activity out of the team. But yeah, you know, I'm working on a social media campaign, driving people towards a, a way to get their information briefly,
Mm.
putting out there just a value of something different because you're sitting at home. I've been working on this for a couple weeks. I think I see something happening with it. I'm starting to get some positive feedback from people, if anything. And I believe we'll probably have, hi, Monica. I believe we'll have some success with it. Just working forward with that and doing what I do on the side. So it's kind of cool because my shop for 30 years turned into my B and WV turned into my A job. So if you want to call it that. But we're good,
Nice.
man. Me and Cindy, she's painting the bathroom today. And, you know, I'm just kind of going around working on stuff and just in between what I do, I'm always keeping busy. Like if you keep your mind busy and keep activity, I believe you can do whatever you want. You sit around
Mm.
and wonder what to do and doom and gloom, and your mind starts freaking out, and then you don't know what to do, and you get lost. So
Yep.
that's what I do, and I got to be constantly busy, man. I'm the guy that I'm always trying new things. I'm you know, I'll spend a few bucks on something to test, and I will freaking figure it out. So that's just how I am. You know, we hit marketing director took about 3.5 years, and you know, we're about halfway to RMD, so that's our goal. And that was our goal for October of this year. And I think we can still get her done. Little kickback from people still being scared about all this Corona crap, but just keep putting bugs in ears, and they're going to come around. Terry is a full believer on what's going to happen in the future with this. People are going to be wondering what the hell to do, and we got the deal. We have the only deal. If you really look at everything else out there, we got the deal, man. I truly
Yeah.
believe it.
100%.
Yep.
Awesome. And Dave, like, man, spot on, man. Like, and it's gonna happen. Like RMD, baby, October. I'm gonna keep you accountable. Keep you and Cindy accountable. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, Dave, you went to. I know. Last time I think like it was at the. Was it that Momentum or was it at the View last year when we first met you? I think the first time we met you was the View last year. Last year. I think it was last year. View in Vegas. That's where we met you, and the Dream Giver card came in, all that sort of stuff, right?
So.
And you gave us some Dream Givers. Shout out to Mr. Willie.
Yep.
You know, you showed us your Facebook group or your Facebook page where you have like bloody gazillions of people on that page or that. I think it's a page, right?
Yeah, I Love Vacations page.
Yeah, I know that it's all like travel based, and you've grown your following. You want to tell us what's going on? What have you been doing with that? And sort of, have you been getting any bites, or have you got any strategies via social media that's working for you?
Yeah, no problem. So before I started WV in 2015, like I said, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and I've been in probably about 8 network marketing companies, and I've always just tried to figure out how to make a little extra side money because I know it's important to have the streams of income. I could never really figure it out, and I worked into try to monetize Facebook pages. So I got hooked up with a guy that showed me how to build ads and stuff because it's not free. When you start pushing ads, you got to pay for it, but it's not expensive. It's, you know, $5 a day, whatever you're doing for campaigns. But it's about learning how to do the campaigns and being able to get the best bang for your buck. So I was building Facebook pages about just things. And then my idea was to monetize them by putting content on there or product and have a lot of fans to push the product to. Well, when I got into WV, I decided to build a page. I'm like, well, shit, I can probably do that. And I built a page about vacations, and it's just I Love Vacations. It's got about 50,000 followers right now. But when I started, I didn't have that many, but I built an ad that would drive people to the page, and that's all I did. But I targeted specific groups of people that I knew would probably like it, and I used specific pictures, and I tested them, and all my whole goal was to drive traffic. And after 4 years, I had 400,000. Now, I've tried to push towards them over the years. Now, this is worldwide likes and followers, and I could never really get the people to, you know, bite on it or whatever. But then Facebook changes this algorithm every freaking week. So everybody doesn't see your posts anymore. And all I did was post a picture of a cool place, little content about it, get some activity, and I never pushed WV the whole time. In fact, I still haven't on that level. But when you have a page that big, when you post an ad that's sponsored by a page that big, you get more views, you get more I don't know, credibility, I suppose, too. So the ad I'm driving now doesn't drive them to the page, but it does drive them to a calendar online that allows them to put their information in and pick a time to see one of our Zooms of Terry doing, or our team doing, the 15-minute presentation. And in the past 2 weeks, I've had 65 people schedule. Now, 30 are still scheduled for the rest of this week. And the other 30, only one showed up that I could tell. Because you can't tell always with emails, and maybe they're not using their real name and stuff. But I've had 3 or 4 emails this morning that I replied to of people responding. So I know it's going to be low number, but who cares? Because either sit at home and do nothing, or get 1 or 2 or 3% response. And in my world, 3% response, especially if you can kind of consider this almost a direct mailer. And I know in business, direct mailers, 3 to 5% response is awesome. So I'm getting the same response online, and we're just looking for one person that wants to kill this thing. And I can run with the guy, I don't care where they are in the world. And the guy I talked to this morning, one was from Kenya and one was from Africa. So whatever. And if they want to go about it, I'll help them. And we'll build a damn team. But it's been a trial and error for about 4 years. Probably the really last 2 years that I've been trying to push some type of an ad and collecting data. So what's cool is I get an email, and I have their phone number if they put it in. I have their email address and their name, and I can reach back out to them via email anytime. So if I see they missed, if I think they missed it, or if I don't think they missed it, the system follows up automatically. I can follow up manually, and I will, as long as I have their stuff until they tell me not to. And I'll just try to, hey, check this out. So I'll probably spend about $10 a day on it, and I'll do that for about a month and see how it goes. I believe I'll get a few signups out of it. In the meantime, we did a big welcome back thing last night with the team. We got a lot of people that quit over the years. And I mean, I don't know if you know how to do for your welcome back list. It's pretty easy in the new back office, but we got some content and some stuff to say to maybe get some people to check it out. That's all we're doing. Take a second look, basically.
Yeah.
Because we don't know where they're at in their life, and it's all changed now with this corona. Most people think that the government's kind of screwing this up a little bit because they're giving away too much money. So people are going to sit at home and do nothing while they collect the government's money if they go through with it. I saw an article where they're going to try to give everybody $2,000 a month until this is over. Every person in the household, not just the household. That's a lot around here, actually. People can afford to sit on their ass and do nothing if that's the case. So we got to get them off Netflix, man, and on vacation.
Well, I guess the whole thing, like, I feel like the people that do sit on the couch and aren't going to use that money are just consumers in the world. They're just going to put that money back out into whatever dumb thing that they want. Meanwhile, us entrepreneurs or anyone that's aspiring to be is going to make some shit happen. So
right. Well, what's really cool too, though, people do like to spend money. So here's what I think is going to really happen, guys. As soon as they start opening up, as soon as they start opening up the country and people have a date where they can go start traveling again, when they know it, they go like, okay, August, we're going to be good. Okay. And they can see things opening up and slowly the pace is going to start happening. Those people are going to freaking take a trip, especially if they got a couple, $2-3 grand from the government.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to be in their face, and we want members to work. So yeah, whatever, we'll benefit off that. If they want to sit on the couch and take a trip, I'll take that all day long. We'll take vacationers all day long, because then once they get in our deal, they don't quit. If they take a trip, our retention is 92%. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, and Dave, just something that's like screaming at me. Do you have your own like Facebook group?
Well, I do. We have our own team group over here that we use.
But no, like personally your group.
No.
Okay. So I'm just throwing it out there. Obviously, like, I'm not going to you're a marketing director, so you got your own thing, you got your own system, but I know your influence. And I was just actually on a call. We're in the All In with Peach, and so we're all kind of on the same kind of page. We're all under Peach, right? But they went over, they actually like did some like Facebook audits and stuff. And I was one that like they got audited and stuff. But just kind of throwing that out there that right now is the perfect time to, of course, World Ventures, most of us are in it, has a system. And then there's leaders, like big ass leaders, right, that then start to rise. And then there's like the masses that do things, right? And I mean, I obviously, whatever the masses do, Nick and I probably almost always do the opposite. Like, we've been doing online marketing since way before everyone even thought of it. Everyone thought that this wasn't going to work, that Zoom is not the way, and you guys are wasting your time. And we just got really good all of last year and probably the last 2 years on doing it. And just because that was the lifestyle that we wanted. And now it's like the perfect time. All of our skills and talents are kind of coming up, and we're like, shit, we were born for this quarantine shit. This is nothing. Like, yeah. This is exactly what, so as far as our team groups, they're great, right? And you want to plug them into a bigger picture, right? But I believe you'd have a really big conversion if you actually created your own group and started then bringing those people from the page and funneling them into your Facebook group, because that group is your world. You get to do whatever it is you want in that group, and then people decide to stay or not. And so Nick and I have had, that ability to then take them into our personal culture, because we're branding ourselves. So what we've done, and I explained this while they were doing like my social media audit, is Nick and I, we brand ourselves, because when someone joins any business, they're signing up with you. Of course, like, there's a company that they're gonna look at, but at the end of the day, bottom line, like, they're gonna always sign up more than likely because of you. Of course, sometimes they're like, well, yeah, you might not be the best person, but I do see the potential, right? And I don't know, like, if that was ever something that you thought of, but I believe you could probably have really high conversion creating a Facebook group and branding yourself and plugging people in. And right now is the time to just be visible and position yourself as an expert in whatever, like, and I'll tell you this way, Nick and I attract two very different people. We've, and on our online coaching business, it was fun because at one point we've actually, for the last like year and a half or so, we were coaching the same people, and then we just came in on different calls for different things. So Nick is very sales, action oriented, get off your ass, let's make these calls, let's hustle, let's get some money in the system, do. And then I take care of the person more like self-care, mindset, what is your why? I dig deep shit. I go to rip out their past traumas and what's holding them back so that they can move forward. So we're yin and yang. And so now Nick and I are actually deciding to brand ourselves separately and going back to that because we do attract two totally different people. I attract a very Zen, spiritual person that's likes all the woo-woo spiritual stuff and faith-based and all that. Nick attracts like the hustler, like the Grant Cardone kind of a person, right? And so two different people. And so I believe you have those skills and those qualities that you can, again, it's not to say that, and this is, of course, like, this is just me saying, because this is what we do. But, we've had a lot of conversations with some top leaders, and when you like want to branch out and do something new, and I know that that's like you, you're ready to do something and you're going to do it and figure it out. I mean, you're the perfect person to test something like that, because it is testing it and, trial and error. But I believe you bring people then back into your world. Because there's clearly a link, there's a missing piece in that like funnel process, and it's probably more of getting them to know you.
I like that idea.
And then
So you have a group. I've looked into it before. I started a few groups. I just never really did much to them, but I think I could probably guide people to a group. I could probably even guide the people that responded to the ad to a group and
Yep.
make it a fun group about travel and stuff, and not really push anything, but see the value of it. Put some stuff on there. I learned how to get likes for a 0.001 cent a piece. It was crazy. I got 100 likes for like a dime back in the day to build that page. But I tested the crap out of it to get it. But I think I could probably shuffle a lot of those people to a group, because you can
Yep.
remarket and target specifics on Facebook like crazy.
You have to be very specific. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
now, do you? I think you're talking about the group you guys have, your travel boss, right? That's what you guys got.
One. So
Okay.
that's one of them. So I
Yeah.
actually so again, like this is all very recent, like in the last few months or so, is first thing you want to know is, of course, if you're going to be like, they call it the attractive character, meaning if you're the one that's going to be actually going live on your group, and it's not going to be like Cindy or something, because of course, like Nick and I are both attractive characters in our own ways. We don't have any problem shining. Maybe someone in a different, scenario is like, oh, that scares me, I don't want to do that, and so maybe you get somebody else to be the attractive character. But if you're the one that's going to give the content and bring them in, nurture them, get them to love on you, love your stuff, you have to decide exactly, what it is. So I'll tell you, in travel, I'll say this, for Nick, he's almost like he just attracts like the entrepreneur. It's almost not really the person that wants to travel. He just is looking for the freaking hustlers. I want to make some sales. I'm actually going towards it more of the personal development side that World Ventures offers, plus 100% travel is actually in the front, because my Facebook group is called Travel Sage. And so I want the person that is actually, and I'll tell you actually kind of what I'm doing. So I attract is that Alexa? Okay. So I attract the person that is mainly looking for that like spiritual growth, and being a member of Moral Ventures, you get a lot of that growth. So most of it is like for free. You can jump on some online webinar. We have our Saturday rep trainings, and you're like, how is that for free? Like, how did that happen? I just like got refreshed, and so there's just so much room to just get that beginner, and then just kind of get them ascended into then the RTE, and then the nationals, and then journey, and all these things, and so that's how it's different. We've done our travel boss secrets, and here's the thing, that's the whole thing about trial and error. It really is. We've done tested a lot of things and figured out kind of what works. And at the same time, groups, I mean, sometimes there's crazy momentum, and then like the next day you're like, what the hell happened? Like nobody's talking, like it's just like the same with chats, right? It's like Everybody's like excited, and then everybody's dead. And that's just like the part of anything. I mean, even in our businesses that happens, like everything is great, and then it's just like you get thrown in your face.
Business. Yep.
Exactly. So it's just these kind of things, but it's always just how that do you reinvent yourself or get them to like get excited again. So I mean, it just depends on as far as what you love the most about World Ventures. And of course, I believe, I don't know, it sounds like the travel seems like it's, you love both of it, right? So it's just kind of which one do you want to kind of start them off with, and then like kind of ascend them into it. So because with the Travel Sage, I also say, so I'll say this, I intuitively guide rising leaders, influencers, coaches, teachers, and soulpreneurs. I use soulpreneur because I want them to eventually understand I do work with an entrepreneur, but a specific type, somebody that wants to combine, their business and their faith at the same time.
Right.
So that's but it's like how many times have we brought people in our business, and you're like, oh God, I don't want to work with this person. And like, oh God, I don't want to work with this person, right? Like they need some spiritual help. They need Jesus. So that's why I kind of come at it more from the angle of just kind of growing them and helping them with their intuition, helping them to like listen to themselves, because I believe intuition is what directs you everywhere,
Right.
you know, and making those decisions for yourself. And that's why most people aren't successful in business, because they don't listen to their intuition. They don't listen to what they want. And they don't know how to make a freaking decision, you know?
Yep. That's why
So,
the 5%ers are out there. That's why the numbers are exactly what the numbers. When Terry showed me this 4 years ago, and he showed me the comp plan and the numbers and how he built it out, it's just where it is. And you know, I follow the 80-20 rule in business all my life, and it's so real, and it doesn't change in this at all. It doesn't.
yep.
20, you know, my shop, 80% of my income came from 20% of my customers. So same thing here. You know, we got the 80-20 ratio with people in this, and we got the 5%ers are going to do it, and it's a fact.
Yep.
You just have to accept it. Something else we've been doing, and you guys might consider this, instead of texting your team or calling them or whatever you do, get on Facebook Messenger and just video call them. Boom. Get them to answer their, you know, video call real quick off guard and have a chat with them. Since we can't, you know, most people can't go see them or they're scared. I did that a couple times so far, and they really appreciated it. And I believe it re-excited them
100%.
and going. Yeah.
That connection, it's all connection right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why right now I'm not worried about like if the sign-ups ratio kind of is like at a standstill, because it's like planting season right now, baby. Let's get to and like some good crops. Like let's actually plant some seeds for some quality people, and that starts with you attracting. Like you're gonna attract exactly who you are. So that's why I'm focused really on my personal development and who I want to be, and because I want more of those people. And it's crazy how fast it starts. Now I'm starting to attract way more quality people than I was even a month ago. Like, I'm like, that does work. When you change who you are and you're not like this desperate person trying to get a sale and like all this other stuff, it's amazing. So that's what we're focused on. We have all the faith in the company. We all have all the faith in where we're at and where we're going. And this is just the planting season and connecting soul to soul, heart to heart with people, and having them know that you are there for them and not just to get a sale. You know, it's whatever it is, travel, if it's business, if it's personal growth, spiritual growth, if it's community. I mean, people will just sign up for the community and like literally just have people to talk that are amazing, you know? So yeah, I think you can, if you need any help, you know, we can bounce things off, because it sounds like I've dabbled in the Facebook ads, and I've been okay. I've been able to do like a Facebook ad to like my group and like to a few things, and I've been like, okay, you know, it's been okay, but I'm not a guru by any means. So I'm more than happy to help you if you need any. But I know Janine says she's had a lot of success with chatbots and events and stuff like that. So, you know, those are definitely, it just kind of depends on everyone's, you know, preference. Cause I know Nick would love to have a chat bot, cause that guy, he's like
I've been doing some
1,000
stuff.
messages a day.
Yeah.
But it's like, where do you then miss that connection, you know, and then how do you then step away from that? Like, it's good to kind of get them in the loop in your world, but then like, okay, now we got to personally reach out to this person, take the time, have a conversation, and you know, so but that's good stuff. We could definitely chat with you as well, Janine. We've been wanting to know how to set up a chat bot for a long time, but we kind of go back and forth between
so many things, right?
You know, like the personal connection.
So many apps out there you can do that with. It's crazy. So you know, there's a lot of free trial apps too. So right now you can try it for 30 days and really push through it. And if it works good, pay for it. If not, whatever. But I think maybe you know, I'll probably test the rest of this out for the week, or probably let's go to the end of the month, and I'll see kind of response I get. and maybe I can funnel them into a group
Mm.
that talks
What
about it.
What I would do, Dave, in All In for 90, Jackie Shaw actually did a Facebook social media
Plenty
marketing
of free.
on Facebook groups. If
Yes,
you go on the All In for 90 Facebook group or the membership area,
You can even just go to the literally. They did an audit on my page. And like
I watched you yesterday, Monica.
Did you? Okay, cool. Yeah,
But
it's
I
like
didn't catch all of it. But I have a meeting with Jackie today as well. So
cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she'll
you're
help
good,
you
man.
out.
Yeah.
I think it's really good stuff.
Now's
There's
time
so
to get
much
good at
free
social media.
content. It is.
We had a meeting, and I showed her what I was doing, and she really liked it. She's
Yeah.
if you're onto something, you're about right there. So she's gonna meet with me. Even if I have to pay her for her services, I'm gonna do something to get more activity. That's my goal.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Once I figure it out, I'm gonna share it with the team, and whoever wants to invest their money into it as well, they could do it, and I'll just give them the outline of what to do. And I mean, I'd share it with you guys too. I don't care. There's enough people in the world. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It all comes back.
Yep.
Back around. So we all have different skills and stuff like that and talents, and that's why. Yeah, I know.
That's
it's
why
amazing.
this business is awesome. You know, I've had my shop for 30 years. I've never ever had another shop owner help me figure it out. We're enemies. I mean, we're friends. We cordial, but he's not going to tell me how to make a better deal to that customer because he wants my customer, right?
No.
So yeah, this is totally different, and that's probably the biggest switch I've had to do. I actually found a network marketing company that you could help each other, you know, tremendously. The old ones I did Amway and stuff in the past, and you always have the matrix design and shit, and nobody helped each other. But when this rolled out, I was like, hey, that's really different. So I could see a value of it. And man, in the beginning, it just took off. I just shared it with everybody I could think of, and it worked. I mean, shit, we got a big team growing, and it grows on its own on some levels. Working on the inside team. Once we get the inside team going, we'll hit RMD, and we'll just keep going from there. But in the meantime, I love testing stuff. I like being able to figure stuff out and then help other people do the same thing. So that consists of my day, along with what else we're doing. And yeah, I like these calls. I think it's important that we keep it with each other, even if we're not in a pandemic. That this still happens, right? This is going to create a lot.
Yeah.
So many blessings.
Everybody has learned how to do Zoom, and everybody's going to learn how to do Zoom. So when this is over, this is how we ultimately need to build this anyways. So now people know what the hell Zoom is. It's like, hey man, get on a Zoom call real quick. Check it out. Oh yeah, no problem. I know what that is. Before they're like, what's Zoom? What are you talking about? So yeah, we're doing this somehow every day on the Zoom, if not 2 or 3 times a day, and getting the team groups going on. We chat with Terry once a week. We chat with the RMDs, and it just keep the activity going. And after this is over, we'll be golden. And anything you can do in between, just create the activity to keep your head straight, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I love the whole part where you were saying, like, finding a network marketing company that does things together and like that's so important. And like I Ventures culture is heading down that direction. I know there's still like it's gotten a lot better. I feel like this one big team atmosphere kind of like came out like last year sometime. You know, it was great as a cleanse and everyone's working together, and that's how it should be. And of course, like I'm an open book to share anything. And then of course, if it's something that involves my time and you want me to like walk you through 4 hours of stuff, well then again it's a different thing because obviously I have to do things as well. But the whole network marketing, I think we need to get the marketing part down because we're a marketing company, and I believe a lot of our marketing stuff is like outdated. But I'm excited to be, you know, kind of behind the scenes with the whole All In with Peach. I know Dave Willoughby definitely you. Sure, that's why she kind of pulled you because Peach is going to do some radical stuff that nobody's ever seen before. Like he is on his marketing flow right now. I believe he understands that the world is headed in a different direction. He's like, oh shit, I gotta get on this. So he's definitely going to be doing some things that Nick and I are actually very familiar with, and We need anyone and everyone that has skills that are in that marketing, the marketing part, like how to market.
It's all about
It's
marketing.
not just good enough to be in networking. You need to know how to market yourself, especially in this day.
Yeah.
So I know Ben said he still had some questions.
Yeah, he wants to know more about it.
On the
Like I would tell
groups.
everyone on this call, if whiz up your personal profile and make it look snazzy, and if you don't know how to do that, it's in the All In for 90 stuff. You can check out the audit that Monica got audited yesterday and the other profiles. And then if you want help on, I would tell everyone to get a Facebook group and a business Facebook page. I would tell everyone to do that. Or if they want to build their business, yeah, I would. I would tell everyone. I'm just being transparent. Us guys, like,
we have different styles.
We got different styles.
Facebook groups are not like a start off point for every single person. It really is like you have to have an established influence, I believe. You already have to have an audience.
I just say go all in and do it.
Personal profile.
As me.
If you're barely starting off.
This is.
Yeah,
we're going against each other. You guys get the picture, right? It is couple of love. I say get a page. If you guys are serious about your business and you want to build your business, you want to build a following, an influence, a credibility, and authority on social media, now is the time to do it. Get your personal profile looking good.
Personal profile for sure.
Definitely your personal. That's number one.
Get that number one.
Get a business page going and start building that, and then drive that traffic from that business page to your Facebook group, just like we just shared that with Mr. Dave over here, and get that engagement. You really want to focus on those people who are engaging with you on your Facebook page. Bring them into a group so you can get more personal with them, and then you can share, your opportunity or share anything you want. Is your group, it's your people.
But sometimes it's still not yours, and that's where then another level of marketing comes into play. Is like creating an email list, and getting people, because then that really is yours. So there are definite levels to that.
Advertising.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Guys.
But has anyone got any questions? I know this has been a great call. You can unmute yourself and answer any question. Introduce yourself before talking and let everyone know who you are, where you come from. Anyone, guys? Anyone?
Yeah, there's somebody that's about to. Looks like Dee wants to unmute herself.
Sure.
Anybody have any? Ben, do you have any specific questions? You can either type it or ask it.
Not necessarily just specific questions, but it's more or less like, because I've tried a couple different businesses before with running ads, and it was never a skill that I got really good at. And I part of it is too, I don't think I got the best training in it. So I lost a lot of money on a monthly basis for a long period of time. And so that kind of put me in a downward spiral with running Facebook ads. And obviously algorithm is changing and whatnot, but it's something that that was the online marketing part was what I first got into initially, getting into this world, in a sense, the industry. And so looking at how to mesh what my initial experience was to what WV is now, and how to kind of mesh those two, and understanding the process of how to make that. Because I think learning through WV and taking what I've kind of learned and experienced in both of those, the community aspect has been one of the number one things. And being online, like my upline and my team, they're all over. No, I don't have anyone in Wisconsin right now. And so for us, it was all online, and it's hard to replicate like the travel parties or the experiences when I went to like Madison with you guys. It's hard to replicate that on every 3-4 months when we had a national event. And so figuring out a way to continue to do that online, if that makes sense, and how to figure all that out. Because I have two Facebook pages that have been dormant for a long time now, but it's figuring out and obviously it's probably gonna be different per person and how you approach it, how you implement it, but using the group, using the pages, or starting a group, and how to build that up, and how to identify like what you're going to be sharing and putting into that group and things like that. So it's a longer conversation for sure, but So it's kind of like the thought process going through my mind as you guys are talking, and understanding that incorporating the two different worlds that I've been a part of the last 4 years or so.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I would say, you know, it just goes back to, I love to just write down the things that I could talk about all day. And because Nick and I cannot tell you how different we are, guys. He could talk about sales and anything sales all day. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. But I do sales as a spiritual practice. So then the way you get me to talk about sales is to bring in my faith. You know, then we can talk about faith. I can talk about tithing. I could talk about all this stuff. I don't know, all this stuff, right? And so for you, Ben, I would say just continue to get clearer on what it is that you love about like World Ventures and what the core is, what that like first kind of like if you had to like pick something about World Ventures that you couldn't have all of it, but you could have this, and then maybe eventually you can unlock the next piece, what would that first piece be? And for me, I chose like the personal development / travel. Like I'm like, okay, traveling to me is personal development. Anytime I travel, I always come back home personally developed. I've always come home. So like that's what I focus on is the travel portion. I'm like obsessed and in love with talking about me going to Israel and floating in the Dead Sea. It's biblical. Like, oh my God, I read about that. And I lived it and I touched it and I felt it. And then Nick can talk about.
I'm like, we're at the Dead Sea, but we're making money on that Dead Sea, baby. Let's go. I'm like, that's it. I'm like, I'm touching this thick, oily water, and I'm like, in Jesus' land, and I'm like making money at the same time. I'm like, tell me more.
Money in the Dead Sea, baby. That's him. You know, so that's what we, and since we're really big influencers, we influence the crap out of each other. So for the longest time, I couldn't like separate why we were like sometimes clashing and then sometimes we were like totally like on the same page. But then I just realized like, duh, I'm like a completely different person, and there's certain my brain works different, his brain works different, and so I would like that's a fun exercise to me is what part of World Ventures, if you could cut out everything, would be the first thing that you would just, okay, I can have this, and maybe in a year I can unlock the rest and focus on that part. Because if you love that portion, again, you want to attract more people that love that portion because it's going to be so much fun. You're not going to be like distracted with all the do they want to make money person, and you're not the person that really like likes to talk about that stuff or all that, right? Or you could be like Nick and be like, I just want the entrepreneur who wants to make money now, like who needs to take their life back, you know, and get their, you know, like start creating financial wealth, you know? So we have both of them. So
a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of entrepreneurs, if they're already an entrepreneur, they're already doing something else. So they're kind of hard to sometimes find. But realize this, what I learned early on is that people like what they like, not what they are told to like. So all I did in the beginning, and here's a tip, you need to have a community page in the beginning. You don't want to be a travel page. You don't want to be anything that has an address or anything, but a community page. And all you're going to do is drive traffic with stuff that people like. Not necessarily, I never put WV on that page ever. There's always pictures of vacations, ask them questions, build them content, have them answer, you know, hey, where would you like to go? Picture of a beach and a chair. And that's how I built it over the years. That's kind of the trick. And then once you figure out the insights on it, you can start tailoring that and get better bang for your buck. And over the years, that's what we've done. So, people they're not going to be like to be sold to on a Facebook ad. I mean, how many of you, when you see a freaking ad pop up, you just kind of zip over it, or you just, swipe left, man. So even YouTube, it's a pain in the butt. I'll stop watching the video if an ad pops up and just close it because it's just frustrating. And that's the way most people are. No, they're no different. But once you get to a point where you figure out what people like, you figure out the engagement, then you can reach out to them that way based off what their activity was. So, but it takes time to grow that stuff. So, and it's all cold market for the most part. So, but like I said, you know, you're just looking for the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, one left, one right, go. But so,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alexis, I want to hear from you, man, my brother.
yeah,
Come on.
What's up, man?
Come on, my brother.
I mean, I just love it. I love coming in here and listening. I'll take notes here and there and everything, whatever the case is. I like it because, I mean, obviously my wife is more like Monica and I'm exactly like Nick. So when I see you guys, I'm just like, this is so awesome. This is so good. I'm not the only one out here because I'm like, we're complete opposites. She's all about the yellow,
Same
the lovey-dovey, this, that, and the other. Cool. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's freaking $25. Go. What are we talking about right now? Let's go. You know? So, but what I love about it though, in the beginning, like what Monica was saying is, like what I reflected with that was saying is, like when you're just giving off the information in the beginning for me, and DW, I think you said the same thing. In the beginning, we're just giving off the information. We're giving off the information. We don't know any better. We're excited, whatever the case is. But when we go on a trip, when we're something that we're excited about, like for me, I love money and I love having fun. So when this concept came to me, I was like, are you kidding me? Fun and money? Let's go. But I was making a little bit of money in the beginning, but I was just giving off information. I was like, yo, it's, we can make money. But the second I went on my trip, see, in the beginning, I was giving off lyrics, just lyrics. But when I went on a trip, there was music behind my lyrics. And that became the emotion that people may forget what you have said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So then when I was coming home and started presenting the deal with passion, with my drive, man, I went to freaking Jamaica for 3 cents, had a blast. I came home, there was 4 people signed up off of my one trip. This is crazy. Sign up. Let's go. And the passion started coming through my voice and it started happening. So now I have the lyrics and I have the music and now I have both my money and I'm having fun. Now I'm excited about it. And that's what the people started feeding off of me. But it's just a beautiful thing that you guys got going right now with, with the meetup, the coffee meetup and everything like that, because now we're exchanging, information, exchanging stories, exchanging, ideas and just bringing us back to what started us at the beginning, So it's so dope. I like it. I like where this is going already. And I got a few of my friends on here too that are just listening in too.
Cool.
Yes. Feel free. Anytime, guys. It's not enough to just like have this value for yourself. It's gonna start to grow and it's more impactful when you bring in people into this world. Again, this is about bringing people into your world. This is how you're gonna create relationships that, again, we often are like so impatient, like we want them to like love us already and like to trust us, but that takes time. They want to really know, like they want to know that you actually care, and so this is just so easy for all of us. We're just chatting. I mean, we're just trying to, help each other out. So yeah, that's good stuff.
Yep.
Love to meet you.
They don't care how much you know, and they know how much you care, right?
Yes.
You can't fake that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Nope.
Good stuff.
Heck yeah.
You guys are awesome. Hey, I'm gonna jump off the 9 o'clock. Well, me 9 o'clock. 90 days
Well, that's
live. I'm gonna get on there. So
we appreciate everyone on this call. And if you guys want the recording of this call, just send me a message. I'll send you the recording. But before we leave, is there anyone else that wants to just share some insights, some inspiration, some value, something on your mind? Boom. Anything?
last call.
You can, if you're up for it, if it's totally cool. If you're not, up to you guys. Janine, you good? Hey guys, I just want to let you know, Janine just joined our travel club yesterday.
awesome.
Janine, we've known for like 6 months or so. So welcome to the club. We appreciate you and excited to have you on board. So
the cool thing is almost all of us are not on each other's team. Like none of us benefit off of each other financially. Like that's the most amazing part about this.
It is. Yeah.
There's no financial benefit other than to just pour into each other, which is
that's
where
so cool. Love it.
Yeah. Literally almost none of us are on the same lineage at all. So
nope.
That's like where the magic happens though. Then you guys get like tons of new ideas and just input and stuff like that. I love it.
The coffee mix up.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's easy. I mentioned
The coffee mix up.
Yeah.
Callie.
Awesome. Hi.
Hey.
There's Dion.
Hey.
Hi.
Awesome. Well, cool, guys. I think that wraps up.
Yeah,
Thursday's,
Result Thursday. And
Entrepreneur Meetup.
guys, appreciate everyone coming on. Our next one will be Tuesday, 10 o'clock. So every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Central on Thursdays. More of a connection social call on a Tuesday, business entrepreneur on a Thursday, but it always gets to what's good and gritty on whatever call it may be. So guys, I appreciate you guys all hopping on, adding value, insight, inspiration. And guys, invite your friends for the next one. We're going to do these every week, and they're totally free. There's nothing to do with the exchange of money, just adding and pouring into each other. So I think it's really
you guys. Hey, thanks a lot, man. You guys have a great day, all of you.
rock and roll, guys.
See ya.
See you later, guys. Fantastic day. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.